So there is another mistranslation problem in Wuthering Waves. If you don't know, in the past, Wuthering Waves has had a lot of problems with mistranslation, whether it comes to the description on weapons or just random text in the game. I mean, a recent one we've had was they said adventure instead of adventure in the new event. So they don't really have the best track record whenever it comes to translating things over to English, over to Japanese, over to pretty much anything other than Chinese. And it seems like this is the case once more. Now, before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and also go over to GamerSubs where you can get yourself some nice waifu cups, some nice tubs, and even more by using my code Kaza. But let's get back into the video. So we've got just less than 2 weeks until Wuthering Waves version 1.1 comes out. And to be honest, they've been pretty silent on their Twitter. They haven't uploaded in 3 days, which is a little bit concerning, especially seeing as a new version is coming out so soon. But again, I'll probably make a separate video on that, on the advertising problems that Wuthering Waves is facing at the moment. But for this video, we're going to need to cast our mind back all the way until this notice here, which was a big announcement that Kuro Games released, and they announced a ton of stuff, including version 1.1, and saying that it was going to come out sooner, and Yinlin was going to come out sooner, and they're giving us all these rewards. And honestly, it was great. But you may be wondering, well, what's wrong with that? Well, if you've been playing Wuthering Waves at all recently, you know that the echo system isn't that great, and this is something that they addressed in this notice. And by not great, I mean that the upgrade system just isn't very good. I mean, collecting echoes overall is fine. I mean, it's not the best, but also it's not terrible, and it's like still playable. But what people were having issues with was actually upgrading echoes and being able to upgrade them to the full level, because it is very hard to upgrade a echo to a full level, even from like 1 day's worth of farming. So again, it just feels very unbalanced, and compared to other games such as like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star, where it is very easy to upgrade relics, even multiple relics in a day, Wuthering Waves just doesn't have that, and it often makes the game a little bit more boring because you're unable to do anything with these echoes and you have to wait multiple days just to level them up, taking away a bit of the excitement. I mean, we've all had those experiences in Honkai and stuff, where it's just like, hey, you gotta spend a day farming and leveling up stuff whenever a new character comes out, or maybe just doing it on a random character that you enjoy. But you're kind of unable to do this in Wuthering Waves. I mean, you do have unlimited farming whenever it comes to echoes. I say unlimited. I mean, there is a cap, but usually no one reaches it because there are so many echoes roaming around the world, and also, you know, in the Tessa fields, that it isn't usually a problem. But the main problem is literally just the leveling up, because the level up materials just don't really level up much at all. And as I said, you can pretty much just do like 1, maybe 2 echoes, and that's it. So again, you have to wait a while. But as I said, Kuro Games released this article which pretty much explained everything going on with the echoes, like I said to you earlier, saying that they're going to be working on a new wave plate storage system and stuff, which is great and amazing for version 1.1. But one of the main things that they put here was, from version 1.1 and forward, the yield of echoes and echo development materials will be increased. Now, that sounds pretty good, right? I mean, that sounds amazing. That sounds like they've fixed the issue of echoes. They're going to increase the overall materials you get. Well, what if I told you this was another mistranslation, and that there's not very many people talking about this at all? So we're just going to look at this clip from Mr. Pokke, who, you know, if you don't know who he is, he pretty much gets involved with the Chinese community quite a bit because of his knowledge of Chinese. I mean, he's from Singapore, so, you know, he knows about all of that kind of stuff. And this isn't just some random guy in r/gacha gaming saying, trust me, bro. This is someone who has a track record of being honest and reliable whenever it comes to this kind of stuff. And, you know, I've talked to him before. He's a very nice guy. And yeah, let's just get into this clip, and he explains everything to do with this mistranslation error.
Okay, chat. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but this text right here, it means 活动中. And as a CN reader, 活动中, it means during events. There's no way. At version 1.1 onwards, during events, increase echo and echo development cost rewards. Oh my god.
So as Mr. Pokke put it there, pretty much there was a massive mistranslation error whenever it comes to announcing this update. So we're not going to be getting an increase in the yield of echoes or echo development materials. We're actually only going to be getting them during events, which we have seen already. We've had some, you know, more echo development materials, which again is great. I mean, we've had a lot, and it does help a lot whenever it comes to upgrading them. But again, they ran out very, very quickly. And, you know, there just isn't enough events going on to sustain it. And I think this is a big issue for Wuthering Waves. Now, will they fix it? Probably in the future. They'll fix it whenever people find out about this more. But I wanted to give a little bit more light to this whole situation because, again, not very many people are talking about it at all. So this is another massive mistranslation error from Wuthering Waves here. And yeah, it means that we're not going to be seeing an increase in echoes and echo development materials overall in the game from version 1.1. It just means that we're going to see them more in the events. So again, this is a massive mess up. I mean, we've had some big mess ups in the past with the Japanese weapon situation where they pretty much got the description wrong for the weapon, and many people got it thinking it was better for one character when it was actually better for another. And now we've got this situation where they pretty much just told us the wrong thing about an update. So again, just to make it clear, we are not getting an increase in echo development or an increase in the yield of echoes or anything like that in the normal game. We're just going to be seeing them in the events, which again is terrible. And as Mr. Pokke and the chat was saying there, like, it's kind of bad. It is very, very bad. There's a lot of people saluting in the chat. But yeah, it's just kind of surprising that they've managed to mess up translating this much. Because you'd think with all the mess ups in the past, they may, like, you know, hire some new people that are a little bit better at translating all of this over to the other languages. But it seems like they've still got the same team working on this, and, you know, they're still messing up with the translation. So hopefully in the future, Kuro Games can hire a new translation team that can actually get some correct translations out, because again, this affects us massively, and it just seems like no one's talking about it because it is a translation issue. Many people don't like to talk about translation issues in the community because they don't know much about it. I mean, me, myself, I don't know Chinese. I'm not Chinese. I've never really looked into anything to do with the Chinese language, but I'm still talking about this because it's an issue with the game. Now, we've got people like Mr. Pokke here who are really, really good at translating stuff and translating it correctly, because there's a lot of people, you know, in certain subreddits that pretend they know a lot about Chinese when they don't and spread misinformation. So again, this is a massive issue with just translation, and hopefully if we get enough people talking about this, then we'll see a change from Kuro Games, and maybe we'll see an increase in echo development materials just overall in the game, because just events is not good enough at all. I think, you know, to save the overall ecosystem, I think they do need to just increase the overall drops overall, not just in events. And that is pretty much all they need to do. I mean, you know, you only have to change a few numbers in the code to actually do this. It's not exactly a hard task. The only task that may be, you know, slightly difficult is figuring out the math of, you know, how much should we actually give to people, because you don't want to give too much, you don't want to give too little. But at the moment, we are getting too little. And many people have been happy with this update because they think that, you know, we're going to be getting materials increased, when that actually isn't the case. So I would definitely make people aware of this, that we aren't actually getting an increase, and this is only for events. Now, I'll update you if any changes happen. As I said, I'm not Chinese, so, you know, I don't know if this actually says this, but, you know, I trust Mr. Pokke a lot, and I, you know, trust that he's got this translation correct. And yeah, hopefully we just see a change from Kuro Games in the future, because, yeah, it just can't keep going on like this. And maybe we'll see another temple in the mail very, very soon from this mistranslation error. And yeah, just make sure to spread the word, because I really want people to know, you know, that this is going on and that this has not been fixed yet, so that we can be more active in telling Kuro Games that this needs to be fixed. But yeah, that's about all I got for this video. I just wanted to keep you guys informed about everything that's going on. I hope that you understood everything in this video, because again, it is pretty confusing whenever it comes to translation errors and stuff to do with like Chinese language, especially if you're not Chinese yourself. And yeah, if you enjoyed it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And also, as I said, go over to GamerSubs and use my code KAZA, and the link will be in the description below. Yeah, that's all. See ya.